And a wonderful, beautiful Friday afternoon to all of you who are here. Welcome to another read along with the Chattering Magpie and the gang. Hello, gang. How are you?
Hello.
We're a gang.
Hello.
Greetings.
He stole my thing.
Okay. Well,
I am the villain.
Yeah, you are the villain. And also,
how dare you?
Also, you guys, I keep trying to force myself to say hello, Mischief, but I'm still not used to it. Like, it's been half a year since, or like a few months since I officially called us a Mischief. But I don't know. It feels like we're still a gang. I don't know. Can I say both? Whatever. So, if at any point you want to say gang and somebody steals it from you, just say hello, Mischief, and that'll bring us back to order. So yeah, hello, Mischief. So we are.
I mean, you could go with what was that Disney movie, The Road to El Dorado, or something like that. I love the
both.
I love the meme. Both? Why not both? Both is good.
If we're the mischief, does that make you the mischiefess?
No, it just makes me the Empress. Crow Queen, I don't know. No, I was gonna say, but I don't think you guys are too surprised that I've never watched The Road to El Dorado, but I know the memes. I know a whole bunch of memes, and I never.
God.
Yeah, I know. So I have to watch that movie.
I think this is where I think this is where I surprise people by saying I never watched it either.
All right, yeah. Okay, so Treasure Planet, Atlantis, and Road to El Dorado, those from around that era. I have not watched them. So,
Oh my god!
I know.
Okay.
For a triple feature.
I have also never watched either one of those.
Oh, Theo says triple
I have.
feature,
I don't
but
remember
I
them.
know.
They are so good.
All of them? Have you watched all of them?
Pretty sure I've seen all of them. I remember Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis is so good.
I think
Oh,
it might be my
Treasure
favorite of the
Planet
three, but I like them
actually
all.
haven't
you
watched.
do? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I keep hearing really good things about those movies. That they were like, yeah, this was like the underestimated peak of whatever DreamWorks or Disney or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I have yet to watch it. And one time I was gonna have a movie date
Rip
with
DreamWorks.
yeah, movie date with some friends, and we're gonna watch Treasure Planet. So, I was gonna host it. And I got all the snacks, and they were gonna come over to my house, and we're gonna have a watch party, and they canceled last minute. So I'm like, well, I'll just watch it some other time, and I just ate the snacks by myself, and I think I watched some movie I had already watched like 10,000 times, as I usually do. I'm not one for new stuff, you guys. So one day I may watch some new stuff. By the way, we did have a watch party yesterday. Thank you for joining me, those who were with us. I hope that now that you watched the French movie, your French pronunciation will be up to par now.
She showed us boobies.
That's his main takeaway. I hope that
Yes.
the other people that watched
Also,
the
the main character was definitely a menace, and she at least one point, she tried to kill people.
Oh shush, that's over exaggeration.
She was not killing people. She was just torturing her neighbor.
She shoved a nail through the cord of a lamp that almost killed the man, because if that thing had caught his flat on fire, that dude would have lost everything.
I forget that Patrick is overly sensitive to all things electrical. Oh, that's why he's upset.
Exactly.
You don't mess with electricity; it can do bad damage.
What
And
about
if you
good
do, you
damage?
have to film it. And if you do, you have to show it to Patrick.
Okay, Mischief. If you at any point
y'all are heathens, and you're trying to mess with me. I hate you.
if you want to mess with Patrick, everybody, send him memes of electrical faulty wiring or something. It'll drive him up the wall, and we will be delighted to see it, because
It doesn't even have to be faulty. It's just purposely done. I mean, people are just idiots, and they're. It's a miracle they're still alive.
Well, luckily for you, though, we cannot pull off such a thing in this read along because this is in the era of what? The 1800s. They did not have electricity. Well, there was electricity, but not quite in the same degree as we have it now. There was lightning, right? And there you go, electricity. So in this era, it would have been, there's no danger for Patrick having a seizure over faulty wiring. But there is, the alternative is that you can end up in the jail. And because you were erroneously, convicted or whatever, sent to trial. And we don't have that anymore. So thank goodness, right? So you have to pick your poison. Stop it, Teal. You have to pick your poison now, and we're going to choose this morning to read about chapter 10, Count of Monte Cristo. Anybody want? Oh, I see we have early gang on the YouTube chat. So let me just first read Yukihime's comment, and then you can take away the summary because I think you were very thoughtful to write it, and I think you should read it. So Yukihime was first. Welcome and congratulations. Have a whole bunch of hearts, and says hey, and gives a hug. Hello, Yukihime. Happy to have you here. All right.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Now, please read to us the summary of what happened in the previous read-along, please.
Excellent. I'm about to be hoisted by my own petard. Last time on Count of Monte Cristo Z, Dantès, trusting in Villefort's promise, was taken to the Chateau d'If. After threatening the jailer to get a meeting with the governor, Dantès was taken to the lowest dungeon in the prison. Meanwhile, Villefort, suffering greatly by his conscience, commits to his choice to condemn the innocent Dantès to sate his ambition, and warns his father-in-law to sell his property, while hurriedly seeking an audience with King Louis XVIII to warn him of the coming Bonapartist scheme.
Ooh, excellent summary. I could not have done it better. Thank you for that. Bravo. So that just about does it to catch us up to date of where we're at. Today we're going to be reading just one chapter because I believe it's a good length. Yes. Let's see. We also have Teal in the chat. Says, good news, everyone. I now get my L's and my R's confused. Spanglish. Oh my gosh, English. So we have Spanglish for English and Spanish speakers. It's Spanglish. But now we have also English.
One of these days, I just want to get Magpie so flustered that she starts speaking in Spanish, just so we don't understand her.
You guys
Allegedly.
you guys have driven me up the wall to a point where I just say stuff in Spanish or whatever. But you also need to get me super exhausted. So maybe one of those 5-hour chats or a back-to-back movie marathon. Maybe one of those days I'll break out in Spanish, and you will have your field day. But today's not the day. It's not the day. And don't encourage them. Fuji petals floating in the river. As Empress, I have to keep my dignity and my gravitas intact. All right. So, all right. English language. Okay, so Teal, you was able to fix the situation, so don't worry. We will not say exactly what happened, Teal, but the gang knows what happened, and we're behind you. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
I think they will understand what English means.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. So Fuji Petals does also say, may I pray for a blessing in appreciation of this serendipitous meeting ordained by the vibrant summer rays of light and shaft? Yes, you may. Also, Patrick said before, the Baron Dandruff is here. Taking some liberties with the French and with the names.
We had some problems saying his name, so I just decided to call him Dandruff.
You know what?
sounds so fancy. Like it's such a sounding fancy word for this.
Yeah.
What it is.
Look, just don't confuse me because as narrator, I probably will say dandruff. So please, like it's funny, but like once I read, I probably
Dan,
will.
Dan.
Yeah, no.
Or you.
Mhm.
Okay, Dan, Magpie. Please say it like that.
Okay. You guys are awful to me. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, enough nonsense.
It's the French.
Too much
No,
nonsense.
it's the French who came up with those words. It's not it's not our fault.
All right, everybody.
You're European, so you're almost French. Almost.
No. It's too far away. Leave me alone. Even if
Too far away. You know, to me it's amazing how Europeans are like, oh, I have to drive over to my mother's. I'm like, oh, it's how far is it? Oh, it's like 30 kilometers away. Oh, I can only see her every like 6 months because it's so far. I'm like, 30 kilometers. I'm like, that's like 15 to 20 miles. That's nothing. That's how much like I used to commute when I used to work in LA. Like, that was my commute every single day.
That's kind of what I commute every day.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Hey,
It's
that's-
mind-boggling.
that's a little bit of a long commute, but it actually happens plenty here with people like living in villages in the countryside and commuting every day to work in like the nearby town. So that's not out of the question. And whoever said that 30 minutes is like a 6 months type of situation, it's not.
An
It's not that.
An Austrian told me this.
Austria is like 5 kilometers square. Like you can walk it.
And now we have the European on European hatred here.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
loving it. We just need Vincent here to bring in the German.
Where is
I don't know,
Vincent?
but like, listen, there are so many countries in Europe that are like so tiny. All right, I will have you know, Romania is pretty chunky. Okay, like it's
Pretty chunky.
yeah, it's a chunky fish. It has the shape of a fish that is a fat fish.
Fish. Yummy. Okay, you guys.
And,
Go on,
it's
finish
like
your
Minnesota
thought.
size.
Minnesota.
So like I actually looked it up, and it's like around the size of Minnesota, between Minnesota and Nebraska, I think.
Oh, I hope it's
Can
more
you say-
exciting than Minnesota and Nebraska. Excuse me. Sorry if you guys are listening from Minnesota and Nebraska.
Can you say Minnesota again?
Minnesota, I don't know.
Okay, I thought you accidentally put in a P there.
Oh no, yeah, that I missed spoke just, but I know that.
All right, beautiful people. I think we should get started. Thank you though for sharing and this cultural exchange of ideas is absolutely delightful to me. So if we have some extra time afterwards, we can continue to do some more bantering and hating on French and pitting French against Romania.
Hey,
just
just
look it
bring... Oh, go ahead.
It's 1,000 kilometers all the way. It's 1,000 kilometers from where I am to France. Okay, so it's far away.
1,000 that's
Can we
500
get those-
miles.
Okay, thank you for the Freedom Units translation. Now we just need Noemi here so I can make fun of the French more.
620 miles. All right.
So basically, what I do, I just split whatever, and then just split it in half. So if you want miles to kilometers, just double it. And if you want kilometers to miles, just half it, and you should be good. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. So don't try to do chemistry.
Very imperfect,
with that.
but I like it.
Don't try to do chemistry with that, but it works for purposes.
If Imperial units, we do not like precise. We just, hey, this is what it is.
If you're doing your chemistry in miles and kilometers, I am concerned.
I'm just saying, like there's a lot of ways you could just like do conversions, like rough, quick conversions, like centimeters to whatever.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. I should be thinking more about Celsiuses and I don't know what else. And grams.
I need a mile of
milligrams.
benzene and a kilometer of bromine.
It sounds like we're doing drugs. Let's just move on, you guys. All right. Settle down, Mischief. You guys are too hyper and excited for the weekend. I'm gonna get exhausted before I even hit Saturday, you guys. Oh my goodness.
I said we're trying to get you flustered so we can get you speaking Spanish.
Stop it. At this rate, I am gonna end up with speaking Spanish. All right, let's do this, you guys. We're reading today, chapter 10, as I have said. Let's see. Who are Teal? Oh, Teal. I'm sorry, you guys.
What?
Okay, you guys, I have to show you. I'll show you guys later, but I'm looking for the list of characters. Yeah, did you put out who's gonna read what today?
Yep. It's in voice chat.
Thank you. I scrolled down and I got sidetracked by all the memes.
It's right above all the pain I'm causing Patrick.
I'll show it to you guys later. So today we
we're
have...
terrorizing Patrick.
Yes,
I didn't notice. Sorry.
I know. We'll terrorize him afterwards as well, just so he can remember us during this weekend. So narrating, I shall be narrating today. King Louis the 18th? King Louis the 18th.
The 18th.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate
18th.
Roman numerals. King Louis the 18th.
5 plus 3.
Oh, shush, yes. Yukihime 252. Duke de Blaca. Was it Braca? Duke de Blaca is Teal. Baron Monsieur d'André is Patrick. Gerard de Villefort is Yay 82. And our highlighter MVP is Teal. Thank you so much for you guys picking up these roles, and Teal for highlighting. Let's do this, you guys. Everybody ready? Oops, wrong slide. Ready? Yes, I'm ready.
We.
Oui.
Vámonos. Chapter 10. The King's Closet at the Tuileries. We will leave Villefort on the road to Paris, traveling, thanks to trebled fees, with all speed, and passing through 2 or 3 apartments. Enter at the Tuileries the little room with the arched window, so well known as having been the favorite closet of Napoleon and Louis XVIII, and now of Louis Philippe. There, seated before a walnut table he had brought with him from Hardwell, and to which, from one of those fancies not uncommon to great people, he was particularly attached, the King, Louis XVIII, was carelessly listening to a man of 50 or 52 years of age, with grey hair, aristocratic bearing, and an exceedingly gentlemanly attire, and meanwhile making a marginal note in a volume of Gryphius's rather inaccurate but much sought-after edition of Horace, a work which was much indebted to the sagacious observations of the philosophical monarch.
Say, sir,
said the king.
That I am exceedingly disquieted, sire.
Really? Have you had a vision of the 7 fat kine and the 7 lean kine?
No, sire, for that would only betoken for us 7 years of plenty and 7 years of scarcity. And with a king as full of foresight as your majesty, scarcity is not a thing to be feared.
Then of what other scourge are you afraid, my dear Blackus?
Sire, I have every reason to believe that a storm is brewing in the south.
Well, my dear Duke,
replied Louis XVIII.
I think you are wrongly informed, and know positively that, on the contrary, it is very fine weather in that direction.
Man of ability as he was, Louis XVIII liked a pleasant jest.
Sire, if it only be to reassure a faithful servant, will your majesty send to Languedoc, Provence, and Dauphine trusty men who will bring you back a faithful report as to the feeling in these 3 provinces?
Animus surdisus,
replied the king, continuing the annotations in his words.
Sire,
replied the courtier, laughing, in order that he might seem to comprehend the quotation.
Your Majesty may be perfectly right in relying on the good feeling of France, but I fear I am not altogether wrong in dreading some desperate attempt.
By whom?
By Bonaparte, or at least by his adherents.
My dear Blackass, you with your alarms prevent me from working.
And you, sire, prevent me from sleeping with your security.
Wait, my dear sir, wait a moment, for I have such delightful note on the pastor cum trahet. Wait, and I will listen to you afterwards.
There was a brief pause, during which Louis XVIII wrote, in a hand as small as possible, another note on the margin of his horse, and then looking at the Duke with an air of a man who thinks he has an idea of his own, while he is only commenting upon the idea of another, said,
Go on, my dear Duke, go on. I listen.
Sire,
said Blacas, who had for a moment the hope of sacrificing Villefort to his own profit.
I am compelled to tell you that these are not mere rumors destitute of foundation which thus disquiet me, but a serious-minded man, deserving all my confidence, and charged by me to watch over the South.
The Duke hesitated as he pronounced these words.
Has arrived by post to tell me that a great peril threatens the king, and so I hasten to you, sire.
Mala ducis avi domum,
continued Louis XVIII, still annotated.
Does your Majesty wish me to drop the subject?
By no means, my dear Duke, but just stretch out your hand.
Which?
Whichever you please. There, to the left.
Here, sire.
I tell you to the left, and you are looking to the right. I mean on my left. Yes, there. You will find yesterday's report of the Minister of Police. But here is Mr. Dandre himself.
And Monsieur Dandre, announced by the Chamberlain in waiting, entered.
Come in,
said Louis XVIII with a repressed smile.
Come in, Baron, and tell the Duke all you know. The latest news of Mr. de Bonaparte. Do not conceal anything, however serious. Let us see, the island of Elba is a volcano, and we may expect to have issuing thence flaming and bristling war. Bella, horrida bella.
Monsieur Dandre leaned very respectfully on the back of a chair with his two hands, and said,
Has your Majesty perused yesterday's report?
Yes, but tell the Duke himself, who cannot find anything, what the report contains. Give him the particulars of what the usurper is doing in his islet.
Monsieur, all the servants of His Majesty approve of the latest intelligence which we have from the island of Elba. Bonaparte...
Monsieur Dandre looked at Louis XVIII, who, employed in writing a note, did not even raise his head.
Bonaparte is mortally wearied, and passes whole days in watching his miners at work at Porto Longone.
And scratches himself for amusement,
added the king.
Scratches himself? What does your Majesty mean?
Yes, indeed, my dear Duke. Did you forget that this great man, this hero, this demigod, is attacked with a malady of the skin, which worries him to death, prusial? And moreover, my dear Duke, we are almost assured that in a very short time the usurper will be insane.
Insane?
Raving mad. His head becomes weaker. Sometimes he weeps bitterly, sometimes laughs boisterously. And other times he passes hours on the seashore flinging stones into the water. And when the flint makes duck and drake five or six times, he appears as delighted as if he had gained another Marengo or Austerlitz. Now, you must agree these are indubitable symptoms of insanity.
Or of wisdom, my dear Baron, or of wisdom.
said Louis XVIII, laughing.
The greatest captains of antiquity amused themselves by casting pebbles into the ocean. See Plutarch's Life of Scipio Africanus.
Monsieur de Blacas pondered deeply between the confident monarch and the truthful minister. Villefort, who did not choose to reveal the whole secret, lest another should reap all the benefit of the disclosure, had yet communicated enough to cause him the greatest uneasiness.
Well, well, D'André, Blacas is not yet convinced. Let us proceed, therefore, to the usurper's conversion.
The minister of police bowed.
The usurper's conversion?
Murmured the duke, looking at the king and D'André, who spoke alternately like Virgil's shepherds.
The usurper converted?
Decidedly, my dear duke.
In what way converted?
Good principle.
Why, this is
Tell
the
him
way of
all
it.
about it, Baron.
Could you repeat your line again, Patrick, please?
I stopped because that was a longer pause. Okay. Why, this is the way of it,
said the minister, with the gravest air in the world.
Napoleon lately had a review, and as 2 or 3 of his old veterans expressed a desire to return to France, he gave them their dismissal, and exhorted them to serve the good king. These were his own words, of that I am certain.
Well, Blacas, what think you of this?
Inquired the king triumphantly, and pausing for a moment from the voluminous scholiast before him.
I say, sire, that the Minister of Police is greatly deceived, or I am. And as it is impossible it can be the Minister of Police, as he has the guardianship of the safety and honor of your Majesty, it is probable that I am in error. However, sire, if I might advise, your Majesty will interrogate the person of whom I spoke to you, and I will urge your Majesty to do him this honor.
Most willingly, Duke. Under your auspicious, I will receive any person you please, but you must not expect me to be too confiding. Baron, have you any report more recent than this? Dated the 20th of February, and this is the 3rd of March.
No, sire, but I am hourly expecting one. It may have arrived since I left my office.
Go thither, and if there be none, well, make one. That is the usual way, is it not?
And the king laughed facetiously. Sorry, I deprived you of your laugh. Laugh, by all means.
Oh, sire, we have no occasion to invent any. Every day our desks are loaded with most circumstantial denunciations coming from hosts of people who for some return for services which they seek to render, but cannot. They trust to fortune and rely upon some unexpected event in some way to justify their predictions.
Well, sir, go and remember that I am waiting for you.
I will go and return, sire. I shall be back in 10 minutes.
And I, sire, will go and find my messenger.
Wait, sir, wait! Really, Monsieur de Blacas, I must change your armorial bearings. I will give you an eagle with outstretched wings, holding in its claws a prey which tries in vain to escape, and bearing this device Anax.
Sire, I listen.
said the Blacka, biting his nails with impatience.
I wish to consult you on this passage. Moi, la, fugua, and I lead to. You know it refers to a stag flying from a wolf. Are you not a sportsman and a great wolf hunter? Well, then, what do you think of the mola and alitu?
Admirable, sire. But my messenger is like the stag you refer to, for he has posted 220 leagues in scarcely 3 days.
Which is undergoing great fatigue and anxiety, my dear Duke. When we have a telegraph which transmits messages in 3 or 4 hours, and that without getting in the least out of breath.
Ah, sire, you recompense but badly this poor young man who has come so far, and with so much ardor, to give your majesty useful information, if only for the sake of Monsieur de Salvieux, who recommends him to me. I entreat your majesty to receive him graciously.
Monsieur de Salvieux, my brother's chamberlain.
Yes, sire.
He's at Marseille.
And writes me thence.
Does he speak to you of this conspiracy?
No, but strongly recommends Monsieur de Villefort, and begs me to present him to your majesty.
Monsieur de Villefort. Is the messenger's name Monsieur de Villefort?
Yes, sire.
And he comes from Marseille.
In person.
Why did you not mention his name at once?
Replied the king, betraying some uneasiness.
Sire, I thought his name was unknown to your majesty.
No, Blackas. He's a man of strong and elevated understanding, ambitious, and pardieu, you know his father's name.
His father?
Yes, Noirtier.
Noirtier the Girondin? Noirtier the senator?
He himself.
And your majesty has employed the son of such a man?
Blackas, my friend, you have but limited comprehension. I told you Villefort was ambitious. And to attain this ambition, Villefort would sacrifice everything, even his father.
Then, sire, may I present him?
This instant, Duke. Where is he?
Waiting below, in my carriage.
Take him at once.
I hasten to do so.
The Duke left the royal presence with the speed of a young man. His really sincere royalism made him youthful again. Louis XVIII remained alone, and turning his eyes on his half-open horse, muttered,
Justus et tenacem propositi virum.
Monsieur de Blacas returned as speedily as he had departed, but in the antechamber he was forced to appeal to the king's authority. Villefort's dusty garb, his costume, which was not of courtly cut, excited the susceptibility of Monsieur de Bérézé, who was all astonishment in finding this young man had the audacity to enter the king in such attire. The Duke, however, overcame all difficulties with a word, His Majesty's order, and, in spite of the protestations which the master of ceremonies made for the honor of his office and principles, Villefort was introduced. The king was seated in the same place where the Duke had left him. On opening the door, Villefort found himself facing him, and the young magistrate's first impulse was to pause.
Come in, Monsieur de Villefort. Come in.
Villefort bowed, and advancing a few steps, waited until the king should interrogate him.
Monsieur de Villefort, Duc de Blacas assures me you have something interesting information to communicate.
Sire, The Duke is right, and I believe your Majesty will think it equally important.
In the first place, and before everything else, sir, is the news as bad in your opinion as I am asked to believe?
Sire, I believe it to be most urgent, but I hope, by the speed I have used, that it is not irreparable.
Speak as fully as you please, sir,
said the king, who began to give way to the emotion which had showed itself in Blackus's face and affected Villefort's voice.
Speak, sir, and pray begin at the beginning. I like order in everything.
Sire, I will render a faithful report to your Majesty, but I must entreat your forgiveness if my anxiety leads me to some obscurity in my language.
A glance at the king, after his discreet and subtle exordium, assured Villefort of the benignity of his august auditor, and he went on.
Sire, I have come as rapidly to Paris as possible to inform your Majesty that I have discovered, in the exercise of my duties, not a commonplace and insignificant plot, such as is every day got up to in the lower ranks of the people and in the army, but an actual conspiracy, a storm which menaces no less than your Majesty's throne. Sire, the usurper is arming 3 ships. He meditates some project which, however mad, is yet perhaps terrible. At this moment he will have left Elba, to go whither I know not, but assuredly to attempt a landing either at Naples or on the coast of Tuscany, or perhaps on the shores of France. Your Majesty is well aware that the sovereignty of the island of Elba has maintained his relations with Italy and France?
I am, sir,
said the king, much agitated.
And recently we have had information that the Bonapartist clubs have had meetings in the Rue Saint-Jacques. But proceed, I beg of you. How did you obtain these details?
Sire, they are the result of an examination which I have made of a man of Marseille, who I have watched for some time and arrested on the day of my departure. This person, a sailor of turbulent character, and whom I suspected of Bonapartism, has been secretly to the island of Elba. There he saw the Grand Marshal, who charged him with an oral message to a Bonapartist in Paris, whose name I could not extract from him. But this mission was to prepare men's minds for a return. It is the man who says this, sire, a return which will soon occur.
And where is this man?
In prison, sire.
And the matter seems serious to you.
So serious, sire, that when the circumstances surprised me in the midst of a family festival, on the very day of my betrothal, I left my bride and friends, postponing everything, that I might hasten to lay at your Majesty's feet the fears which impressed me, and the assurance of my devotion.
True. Was there not a marriage engagement between you and Mademoiselle de Saint-Méran?
Daughter of one of your Majesty's most faithful servants.
Yes, but let us talk of this plot, Monsieur de la Fort.
Sire, I fear it is more than a plot. I fear it is a conspiracy.
A conspiracy in these times is a thing very easy to meditate, but more difficult to conduct to an end. In as much as re-establishing so recently on the throne of our ancestors, we have our eyes open at once upon the past, the present, and the future. For the last 10 months, my ministers have redoubled their vigilance in order to watch the shore of the Mediterranean. If Bonaparte landed at Naples, the whole coalition would be on foot before he could even reach Piombino. If he land in Tuscany, he will be in an unfriendly territory. If he land in France, it must be with a handful of men, and the result of that is easily foretold. Execrated as he is by the population. Take courage, sir, but at the same time rely on our royal gratitude.
Ah, here is Monsieur Dandre,
cried Blacas. At this instant the Minister of Police appeared at the door, pale, trembling and as if ready to faint. Villefort was about to retire, but Monsieur de Blacas, taking his hand, restrained him. End of chapter. Ooh, I wonder what it is.
Pum pum pum.
We'll just have to figure out and learn about it on our next read along.
Oh my god, what even were those two words? Like, I'm sorry, I was laughing because I was like, are they supposed to be like French? Are they supposed to be Latin? How am I even supposed to say that gibberish?
Right,
A lot of it was Latin.
You did a good job. I would have been stumbling over the Latin. Anybody here a connoisseur of Latin? Should we go over it?
Latin is easy.
We should.
I know a little.
More than my French.
So
Yeah, Latin is easy for me.
As a Catholic, I should know my Latin. As a Catholic, I should know my Latin better, but I'm very bad at it.
well, you guys are better off than me. I'm just like, sure.
I mean, don't you feel like it's close to Spanish at all? Like, isn't the Spanish helping you?
A little bit, but it's far more removed from Spanish than Italian. So
That's true.
there's
For me, it's like the pronunciation is exactly like in Romanian. So whenever I don't know the meaning of the words necessarily, but I can read it pretty good because it's like just the Romanian pronunciation. But like I don't know if he's saying a word in Latin or in French. That's where it stumbled me.
all right. Whereas I can tell which one's Latin and French. So I wanted to show. I think. Here we go. Crusher. By the way, Crusher is on the chat. Says, "Hi all. Did you enjoy the funny AI art I made?" So I'm looking for it, but I see there have been an addition to other things on on the Trolling Patrick voice chat channel. But let's show the thing that you are referring to. Let me see if I can. Here we go.
Channel suggestion, Trolling Patrick channel.
Nah.
Since that seems to be a pastime of people here now.
It's not, because I think you might get off on it too much. So no.
Only sometimes.
All right.
That's slander.
We have this Muppets AI. Congratulations, Villefort. We are most pleased. I am honored, Your Excellency. An urgent message. Napoleon has escaped from Elba. So this is probably what the news is. Was this be considered a spoiler? Not really. I kind of expect something along those lines. Teal alone only knows what's the actual matter. But it seems like
So I read a little bit of the next chapter, and
how dare you?
Yeah.
At this rate, should we just read the next chapter? No, we shouldn't.
Why not? It's just
how long is
4:44.
How long is it?
Yeah.
Are you down to read the next chapter? Yeah?
Always.
Okay. So I was checking it out. We do need Mademoiselle or Notier de Villefort, or is that Monsieur Notier de Villefort? Monsieur. Oh, this is Villefort's father. Okay, who wants to be Villefort's father? I can be Villefort's father. And who wants to be the valet?
Okay.
I can be.
Okay. So Yukihime is the valet. I'll be Monsieur Notier de Villefort. Oh boy. I like to voice old people. I don't know, I think they're fun. Okay, so we continue on by popular demand, and because we want to know what is going on, and because we have been so spoiled by Crusher's meme, and I think it's gonna get interesting. So let's do this. Chapter 11. The Corsican Ogre. At the sight of this agitation, Louis XVIII pushed from him violently the table at which he was sitting.
"What ails you, Baron?"
he exclaimed.
"You appear quite aghast. Has your uneasiness anything to do with what Monsieur de Blacas has told me and Monsieur de Villefort has just confirmed?"
Monsieur de Blacas moved suddenly toward the Baron, but the fright of the courtier pleaded for the forbearance of the statesman. And besides, as matters were, it was much more to his advantage that the prefect of police should triumph over him than that he should humiliate the prefect.
Sire.
"Well, what is it?"
asked Louis XVIII. The minister of police, giving way to an impulse of despair, was about to throw himself at the feet of Louis XVIII, who retreated a step and frowned.
"Will you speak?"
I guess he doesn't want to speak. Patrick.
I thought you were going to say the "he said" at the end of "will you speak."
You know what? We're not being very... Okay, let's pause here a minute. Since I don't want to get in between people talking, unless it's that he spoke with a frown or added some other information, I'm not going to read them. So,
all right.
Yeah, so you just keep on going. Let's just be from this time forth and forevermore.
Yes.
Oh, sire, what a dreadful misfortune! I am indeed to be pitied. I can never forgive myself.
"Monsieur, I command you to speak."
Well, sire, the usurper left Elba on the 26th of February and landed on the 1st of March.
"And where? In Italy?"
In France, sire, at a small port near Antibes, in the Gulf of Juan.
"A usurper landed in France, near Antibes, in the Gulf of Huon, 250 leagues from Paris on the 1st of March. And you only acquired this information today, the 3rd of March. Well, sir, what you tell me is impossible. You must have received a false report, or you have gone mad."
Alas, sire, but it is true.
Louis made a gesture of indescribable anger and alarm, and then drew himself up as if the sudden blow had struck him at the same moment in heart and in countenance.
"In France? The usurper in France? Then they did not watch over this man. Who knows? They were perhaps in league with him."
Oh, sire, Monsieur d'Andre is not a man to be accused of treason. Sire, we have all been blind, and the Minister of Police has shared the general blindness. That is all.
But,
said Villefort, and then suddenly checking himself, he was silent. Then he continued.
Your pardon, sire. My zeal carried me away. Will your majesty dine my excuse?
"Speak, sir, speak boldly. You alone forewarned us of the evil. Now try and aid us with the remedy."
Sire, the usurper is detested in the south, and it seems to me that if he ventured into the south, it would be easy to raise Languedoc and Provence against him.
Yes, assuredly. But he is advancing by Gap and Sisterston.
Advancing. He's advancing. Is he then advancing on Paris?
The Minister of Police maintained a silence which was equivalent to a complete avowal.
"And Dauphine, sir?"
Inquired the King of Villefort.
Do you think it possible to rouse that as well as Provence?
Sire, I am sorry to tell your majesty a cruel fact, but the feeling in Dauphin is quite the reverse of that in Provence or Languedoc. The mountaineers are Bonapartists, sire.
And was well informed. And how many men had he with him?
I do not know, sire.
What? You don't know? Have you neglected to obtain information on that point? Of course it is of no consequences.
He added with a withering smile.
Sire, it was impossible to learn. The dispatch simply stated the fact of the landing and the route taken by the usurper.
And how did this dispatch reach you?
Inquired the king. The minister bowed his head, and while a deep color overspread his cheeks, he stammered out.
By the telegraph, sire.
Louis XVIII advanced a step and folded his arms over his chest as Napoleon would have done.
Oh, then,
He exclaimed, turning pale with anger.
7 conjoined and allied armies overthrew that man. A miracle of heaven replaced me on the throne of my fathers after 25 years of exile. I have during those 25 years spared no pains to understand the people of France and the interests which were confided to me. And now, when I see the fruition of my wishes almost within reach, the power I hold in my hands bursts and shatters me to atoms.
Sire, it is fatality,
Murmured the minister, feeling that the pressure of circumstances, however light a thing to destiny, was too much for any human strength to endure.
What our enemies say of us is then true. We have learned nothing, forgotten nothing. If I were betrayed as he was, I would console myself to be in the midst of persons elevated by myself to places of honor, who ought to watch over me carefully than over themselves. For my fortune is theirs. Before me they were nothing. After me they will be nothing, and perish miserably from incapacity, ineptitude. Oh yes, sir, you are right. It is fatality.
The minister quailed before this outburst of sarcasm. Monsieur de Blacas wiped the moisture from his brow. Villefort smiled within himself, for he knew he felt his increased importance.
Fall,
Continued King Louis, who at the first glance had sounded the abyss on which the monarchy hung suspended.
fall, and learn of that fall by telegraph. Oh, I would rather mount the scaffold of my brother Louis the 16th than thus descend the staircase of the Tuileries, driven away by ridicule. Ridicule, sir, why? You know not its power in France, and yet you ought to know it.
Sire, sire, for pity's...
Approach, Monsieur Villefort.
Resumed the king, addressing the young man, who, motionless and breathless, was listening to a conversation on which depended the destiny of a kingdom.
Approach and tell Monsieur that it is possible to know beforehand all that he has not known.
Sire, it is simply impossible to learn secrets which that man concealed from all the world.
Really impossible. Yes, that is the word, sir. Unfortunately, there are great words as there are great men. I have measured them. Really impossible for a minister who has an office, agents, spies, and 1,500,000 francs for Secret Service money to know what is going on at 60 leagues from the coast of France. Well then, see. Here is a gentleman who had none of those resources at his disposal, a gentleman, only a simple magistrate, who learned more than you with all your police and who would have saved my crown if, like you, he had the power of directing a telegraph.
The look of the Minister of Police was turned with concentrated spite on Villefort, who bent his head in modest triumph.
I do not mean that for you, Blackass. For if you have discovered nothing, at least you have had the good sense to preserve in your suspicion. Any other than yourself would have considered the disclosure of Monsieur de Villefort insignificant, or else dictated by venal ambition.
These words were an allusion to the sentiments which the Minister of Police had uttered with so much confidence an hour before. Villefort understood the king's intent. Any other person would perhaps have been overcome by such an intoxicating draught of praise, but he feared to make for himself a mortal enemy of the Minister of Police, although he saw that Dantès was irrevocably lost. In fact, the minister who, in the plenitude of his power, had been unable to unearth Napoleon's secret, might, in despair at his own downfall, interrogate Dantès, and so lay bare the motives of Villefort's plot. Realizing this, Villefort came to the rescue of the crestfallen minister, instead of aiding to crush him.
Sire, the suddenness of this event must prove to your majesty that the issue is in the hands of Providence. What your majesty is pleased to attribute to me as profound perspicacity is simply owing to chance, and I have profited by that chance, like a good and devoted servant. That is all. Do not attribute to me more than I deserve, sire, that your majesty may never have occasion to recall the first opinion you have been pleased to form of me.
The Minister of Police thanked the young man by an eloquent look, and Villefort understood that he had succeeded in his design. That is to say that, without forfeiting the gratitude of the king, he had made a friend of one whom, in case of necessity, he might rely.
Is well. And now, gentlemen,
the king continued, turning toward Monsieur de Blacas and the Minister of Police.
I have no further occasion for you, and you may retire. What now remains to do is the department of the Minister of War.
Fortunately, sire, we can rely on the army. Your Majesty knows how every report confirms their loyalty and attachment.
Not mention reports, Duke, to me, for I know now what confidence to place in them. Yet, speaking of reports, Baron, what have you learned with regard to the affair in the Rue Saint-Jacques?
The affair in the Rue Saint-Jacques?
Exclaimed Villefort, unable to repress an exclamation. Then suddenly pausing, he added,
Your pardon, sire, but my devotion to your majesty has made me forget not the respect I have for that is too deeply engraved in my heart, but the rules of etiquette.
Go on, sir. You have today earned the right to make inquiries here.
Sire, I came a moment ago to give your majesty fresh information which I had obtained on his head. Then your majesty's attention was attracted by the terrible event that has occurred in the Gulf, and now these facts will cease to interest your majesty.
On the contrary, sir, on the contrary, this affair seems to me to have a decided connection with that which occupies our attention, and the death of General Kensenal will perhaps put us on the direct track of a great internal conspiracy.
At the name of General Quesnel, Villefort trembled.
Everything points to the conclusion, sire. that death was not the result of suicide, as we first believed, but assassination. General Kencel, it appears, had just left a Bonapartist club when he disappeared. An unknown person had been with him in that morning, and made an appointment with him in the Rue Saint-Jacques. Unfortunately, the general's valet, who was dressing his hair at the moment when the stranger entered, heard the street mentioned, but did not catch the number.
As a police minister related this to the king, Villefort, who looked as if his very life hung on the speaker's lips, turned alternately red and pale. The king looked toward him.
Do you not think with me, Monsieur de Villefort, that General Cancel, whom they believed attached to the usurper, but who has really entirely devoted to me, has perished, a victim of a Bonapartist ambush?
It is probable, sire. But is this all that is known?
They are on track. They are on the track of the man who appointed the meeting with him.
On his track?
Yes, the servant has given his description. He is a man from 50 to 52 years of age, dark, with black eyes covered with shaggy eyebrows and a thick moustache. He was dressed in a blue frock coat, buttoned up to the chin, and wore at his buttonhole the rosette of an officer of the Legion of Honor. Yesterday, a person exactly corresponding with this description was followed, but he was lost sight of at the corner of Rue de la Justienne and the Rue Coquerin.
Villefort leaned on the back of an armchair. For as the minister of police went on speaking, he felt his legs bend under him. But when he learned that the unknown had escaped the vigilance of the agent who followed him, he breathed again.
Continue to seek for this man, sir,
said the king to the minister of police.
For if, as I am all but convinced, General Cancel would have been so useful to us this moment, as he has been murdered, his assassins, Bonapartists or not, shall be cruelly punished.
It required all Villefort's coolness not to betray the terror with which this declaration of the king had inspired him.
How strange! How strange! The police think that they have disposed of the whole matter when they say a murder has been committed, and especially so when they can add, and we are on track of the guilty persons.
Sire, your majesty will, I trust, be amply satisfied on this point at least.
We shall see. I will no longer detain you, Monsieur de Villefort, for you must be fatigued after so long a journey. Go and rest. Of course, you stopped at your father's.
A feeling of faintness came over Villefort.
No, sire. I alighted at the Hotel de Madrid in the Rue de Toron.
But you have seen him.
Sire, I went straight to the Duc de Blacas.
But you will see him then.
I think not, sire.
Ah, I forgot,
said Louis, smiling in a manner which proved that all these questions were not made without a motive.
I forgot you and Monsieur Monardier are not on the best of terms possible, and that is another sacrifice made to the royal cause, and for which you should be recompensed.
Sire, the kindness your majesty deigns to invest towards me is a recompense which so far surpasses my utmost ambition that I have nothing more to ask for.
Never mind, sir. We will not forget you. Make your mind easy in the meanwhile.
The king here detached the cross of the Legion of Honor which he usually wore over his blue coat, near the cross of St. Louis, above the order of Notre Dame du Mont. Sorry, you guys. The king here detached the cross of the Legion of Honor which he usually wore over his blue coat, near the cross of St. Louis, above the order of Notre Dame du Mont Saint Carmel and Saint Lazare, and gave it to Villefort.
In the meanwhile, take this cross.
Sire, your majesty mistakes. This is an officer's cross.
Ma foi, take it, such as it is, for I have not the time to procure you another. Lacus, let it be your care to see that the brevet is made out and sent to Monsieur de Villefort.
Villefort's eyes were filled with tears of joy and pride. He took the cross and kissed it.
And now, may I inquire what are the orders with which your majesty deigns to honor me?
Take what rest you require, and remember that if you are not able to serve me here in Paris, you may be of the greatest service to me at Marseille.
Sire, in an hour I shall have quitted Paris.
Go, sir, and should I forget you, king's memories are short. Do not be afraid to bring yourself to my recollection. Baron, send for the Minister of War. Blackus, remain.
Shoot, I got distracted. I'm sorry.
You were in the chat. Ha, I see.
What? No, I would never be distracted by chat and not the thing that we're trying to read.
Go.
Ah, sir,
said the Minister of Police to Villefort as they left the Tuileries.
you entered by luck's door. Your misfortune is made.
Your fortune.
Your fortune. Your fortune is made.
Will it be long first?
Muttered Villefort, saluting the minister, whose career was ended, and looking about him for a hackney coach. One passed at the moment which he hailed. He gave his address to the driver, and springing in, threw himself on the seat and gave loose to dreams of ambition. 10 minutes afterwards, Villefort reached his hotel, ordered horses to be ready in 2 hours, and asked to have his breakfast brought to him. He was about to begin his repast when the sound of the bell rang sharp and loud. The valet opened the door, and Villefort heard someone speak his name.
Who could know that I was here already?
Said the young man. The valet entered.
Well, what is it? Who rang? Who asks for me?
A stranger who will not send in his name.
A stranger who will not send in his name? What can he want with me?
Wishes to speak to you.
To me?
Yes,
Did he mention my name?
yes.
What sort of person is he?
Why, sir, a man of about 50.
Short or tall?
About your own height, sir.
Dark or fair?
Dark, very dark, with black eyes, black hair, black eyebrows.
And how dressed?
In a blue frock coat, buttoned up close, decorated with the Legion of Honor.
It is he.
Said Villefort, turning pale. Pardieu, said the individual whose descriptions we have twice given, entering the door. What a great deal of ceremony! Is it the custom in Marseille for sons to keep their fathers waiting in their anterooms?
Father! Then I was not deceived. I felt sure it must be you.
Well, then, if you felt so sure, replied the newcomer, putting his cane in a corner and his hat on a chair. Allow me to say, my dear Gerard, that it was not very filial of you to keep me waiting at the door.
Leave us, Germain,
said Villefort. The servant quitted the apartment with evident signs of astonishment. End of chapter.
Beware, beware the Ides of March.
Is it the 15th of March?
Is it the 3rd
Look,
of March?
It's
The third
March.
of March.
It's March, and it just felt fitting because, there was a certain Shakespearean play where a soothsayer said, beware, beware the Ides of March.
Thank you for not saying the name of the Scottish play.
Well,
it's Caesar.
I gotta say, that isn't the Scottish play.
Oh, wait, that isn't the Scottish play. Oh.
I did say Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Scottish
Julius
play
Caesar.
is double boil and trouble.
Yes, that's why. I know they have each has like a little thingy to like everybody knows. I got them mixed up. Thank you. I think because it has also Brutus, and then the other guy on the other one, his name also starts with a B. All right. So we got these 2 chapters. We got full of intrigues and backstabbings and murder, and we got Napoleon left Elba and is now in France, so anything could happen, you guys.
And with the entrance of the father to meet the son, I'm fearing a fratricide.
I am fearing that as well, but he can't afford a fratricide himself, so if anything happens, he will send somebody to do it or something. I don't know. I don't see him doing it himself. I don't know.
He is a schemer. I would definitely not put that past him.
By the way, welcome, Ed. Happy to see you here, and also Little Butterfly. Hey. Didn't quite see when you guys got here, but I see you here. Yay! All right.
I've been listening the whole time, so yeah.
Oh, you were. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you're here. So we don't know what's going to happen with the father, but we know that the father has been doing some shady business. So anybody care to say or remind this audience what he is suspected of having done?
He is suspected of being the intended recipient of the letter that was in the care of Dantès.
And from the context of the conversation that was just had with the king, he is also suspected, though they don't know it was him, he's suspected of assassination.
Assassinating a general. Yep.
A general believed to be loyal to Napoleon, but actually loyal to the king.
Yeah, so Papa Dearest has not been behaving well, and he now goes to implicate his son. Well, I feel like, why, if you just killed somebody and you know the dogs are after you, why would you go to see your son? Like, honestly, don't do that.
Your son who is trying so desperately to endear himself to the crown while distancing himself from you.
You know, if it were anybody except Villefort, I would feel a little sorry for him. But I don't feel sorry for him. He deserves to have his sleep and his peace interrupted all the time. When he goes to sleep, when he goes to the toilet, no peace.
There is a certain commandment that says, honor thy father and mother.
Yeah, but conversely, it says, parents do not grieve your children in the same good book. So
you are correct.
All right. So Teal here on the chat says, no, Teal, I came here to laugh at you. Oh, is that really what's going to happen? I look forward to it, if that is the case. I just want to understand, why did he go to seek after his son? If he wanted somebody to hide him, then he should have had a plan in place to scurry and just, get off the grid. I don't know. It just seems weird that he just went and hunted down his own son. Unless he wants to kill his own son. I don't know.
he was expecting a letter that kind of disappeared. So,
Do you think he knows that his son knows it? Nobody else
Maybe.
could have it. Maybe, yeah. Also, Tio says, I always forget no one knows Gundam references here. Yeah, sorry if that
I
was
take
a
exception to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Did you ever watch Gundam Zeta?
You know what? That one was kind of hard to get through. I got through it, but Double Zeta I kind of stopped at.
Okay.
I'm looking at the memes that you guys posted here. Everybody is so helpful. By the way, we did get a notice that there was electricity in this day and age, so never mind, Patrick. You shall be tortured even in this day and age. They had telegrams.
Oh boy.
They had telegrams already. Feel I love this one. This reference, number 5, being electrocuted. Oh yes.
Short circuit.
And Yukihime. What is that monstrosity?
That is someone trying to take an American plug and adapt it for, I'm thinking that's European use.
Oh man.
Innovation is what it is.
Patrick asks for the ability to ban people. Unfortunately, no. I have lost you guys' respect and dignity here, so that's the only thing I have left to hold on to. I have nothing else to hold on to, so I will not give you that ability. All right.
Don't worry, Magpie. You have at least one of those things.
Okay. Well, maybe, I guess. I don't think so. All right. So let's see. Let me see who else is said on the chat. Choked on air. Yeah, by the way, Yukihime, poor thing. Reading the king and choking on it.
Yeah, I don't know, and I just had to pretend yes, the king is old, he has a cough or something.
You know what? You played that off so perfectly because I thought that was what it was.
No, immediately after that I muted myself because I had just a 10-second or something break. So muted myself, coughed myself here, my lungs out, and then unmuted and said the next line. I finished. Yeah, and but again, what are also the English words are killing me more than any other weird combination of languages, because some words in English, long words, too many consonants, too precarious, whatever. Yeah, a lot of them were not really how you say them.
Yeah, well, we are all doing our best, so you're doing great. Okay, I know there was a few words that are, people don't use, at least I don't use some of the words that we have here, like perspicacity. When was the last time I heard or used that word? I forget. It's a miracle I knew about it.
Yeah, that one definitely threw me for a loop.
Yeah,
I always remember Lisa was out of school for some reason in The Simpsons, and she was struggling to find smarter words to use, and she said, "Oh no, I'm losing my perspicacity."
Oh no, Lisa, it's still there. Yeah, so
and after
we're doing our best.
Yeah, and after some of those complicated words in which I was trying my best, another word that is not that complicated would come around, and I would have forgotten how to actually say it, even if it's I think is it ambush or ambush? I don't know. It was I
Well, if you want to say it like a filthy American, you would say ambush.
Okay.
By the way,
That's
Teal, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Stopped at this comment of yours. Says it could be worse. After all, this is largely pre-de-establishmentarianism, at least in France. Could you explain some of this for us plebeians?
Yes. Disestablishmentarianism was the movement largely in England to separate church and state. However, in France, they did not separate church and state until 1905. So this being before that, pre-disestablishmentarianism. It is kind of known almost as a meme for being one of the longest words in English, so I deigned to use it.
So being...
She deigned to use it.
Yeah, her perspicacity is showing. Oh my goodness. It's really interesting to me, though, because during the French Revolution, they absolutely did away with everything and anything that was resembling, that sniff, that had a hint of religion. Like, it was crazy. I read that they were like, why are we doing these strange things? Like, let's go to like a 10-day week instead of a 7-day week, because so they started doing 10-day week and it just did not work out. And
that's why the metric system is bad.
Yeah, because they also leaned into everything in base of 10. So they wanted to do a calendar base of 10. It did not work out. So they had to like begrudgingly go back to this. But it's crazy how like after they did like a huge like just a moving towards like a totally like radicalized kind of radically different, political and all that stuff, then they went back to church and state together, hand in hand, or like one upholds the other. Very, very interesting. It just tells you how people's conceptions can turn on a dime. Just give a big enough, give it some time and big enough political event or events that will basically bring back the old established order that was before. But yeah, anything else about this chapter that you guys want to point out?
Well, I don't know if it's about this chapter, but I would say please like and subscribe and support your magpie. We'd like to get us up to 1,000 eventually, but that's not going to be today, of course. So
join the flock.
If you enjoy this, please join us.
Yeah, hop aboard the this unruly group of strangers. They can become your friends. You can hang out with us whenever you want, I guess. Yeah, the Discord server is hopping. We have things going on, I guess. Last time there were people watching movies, and I was doing a watch party, so we have stuff going on. Yeah, this week I was going to release a video, by the way, on the other channel, but I was delayed a little bit. But I think next week I shall have a continuation of the Ferdinand A to Z's. For those of you who are members, you will get to have early access to that, so that's also something good to look forward to. And yeah, we have other stuff lined up. Thank you for supporting this channel, for liking, commenting, subscribing, and thank you also to the gang. I think we have gone a little bit above our usual scheduled time, but just want to say thank you to the following folks who read today. Narrator, oh, that was me. Okay, let's start with King Louis XVIII, Yukihime. Duc de Blacas was Teal. Baron Monsieur d'André was Patrick. Gerard de Villefort. Gerard de Villefort was EA82 with his usual southern charm, which we cannot get enough of. And then for chapter 11, we had the valet was Yukihime, and I read the father. Unfortunately, I wasn't a lot of lines, but maybe I can pick it up next time. If you guys will allow me to, anyway. We will continue on Wednesday to read the next chapter. I hope that you guys join us. I had lots of fun, and I hope you did too. Also, highlighting by Teal. I didn't forget Teal. Thank you so much. I hope you guys
never forget your highlighter.
No. Without our highlighter, we cannot read. So Teal, this whole situation hinges upon you.
So long as you forgive my occasional mistake, like last session.
I would never ever call you out on a mistake. I'm forever grateful for all the work that you do. So yeah, if anybody calls out things, it's not me. It's probably Patrick. So
Yes, I definitely like to call people out when they use English and mistake the L's for R's.
exactly. So you guys,
Mochiron desu wa.
you guys, please don't say mean things to each other in Japanese, because I don't know Japanese. You guys might know Japanese. So this is what my mother felt like. Like, you guys, when I was taking French, my sister was also taking French, so we would kind of like cuss each other out or say mean things to each other. And my mom was like, I know you guys are saying mean things. Stop it. We're like, so
When I was in the Navy, I had so many Filipino friends who we'd be talking, then one of their Filipino friends showed up, and suddenly they'd be speaking Tagalog, and I'm like, I have no idea what's being said anymore, and I'm lost.
did they at least they weren't saying stuff that was kind of like, are they laughing
I don't
at
know
me?
that.
Well, you wouldn't be so chill about it if they, okay, because sometimes people start talking and then they start laughing and you're like, are they laughing at me? And then
For all I know, they were saying, look at this silly fucking fat white boy here.
Wow. Dang, what kind of friends were those? Oh wait, that's the military, huh?
I was gonna say, we're guys and we're in the military.
Yeah.
We are brutal with each other.
Jeez. Well, more power to you guys. I would never. All right, you guys. This is getting a little bit off topic, but we will see you on Wednesday. I'll just continue here to, exercise my power upon these people who are misbehaving. I shall give them a good talking.
What power?
Exactly, right? I'm gonna ban you one of these days. You'll see. Week-long ban. Bye, everybody. Take care. Have a good week.
And if you want to try Magpie's patience, join us on the Discord server.
One day I'm gonna just speak in Spanish. Just Spanish. It'll be Spanish.
That's what I've been trying for. I would love to see that happen.
No, but like I will alienate you guys with my brilliant Spanish.
It would be funny, like it would be funny to one day like do a whole stream or something in which everybody like speaks whatever other language they know.
Dibs on Japanese.
Nice. I'll do Spanish.
I don't think anyone here is going to.
It doesn't help if you know a little bit of sign language and you can't see anybody.
Aww.
I can be completely silent.
No. Well, you can always get on camera. Oh, if you want.
Nope.
Fair game.
Just
Yeah.
your hands.
It took me about 3 years before I was ready to be on camera for the other channel, so I get you. All right, folks, we'll see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. May all your plans go as planned, and may your father not get you into trouble. Stay out of trouble, you guys.
Never.
We'll see you.
Ciao.
Bye.
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 Au revoir.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bon voyage.
Okay.